Right, okay. Hello YouTube, it's the D.B.T Gamer Show, episode 34, and today I'm going to be reviewing Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube. I've been playing Resident Evil for quite a while now, and I love the series. So it's about time I reviewed Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube. My last episode I reviewed Resident Evil on the DS, so it's pretty good. But this game is so good. Well, let's take a look at it anyway. So let's get started. Now, Resident Evil on the GameCube, the storyline is still very similar to the DS version, but it has been improved. So the story for Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube, basically, you've got these coppers who are part of this cop team called Stars, and before they went in, this other group of coppers went in, and they were all killed, apart from a couple of them. And the other coppers basically go in, you play as two coppers, and you go in and find your teammates which went in before you. And whilst you're looking around the house, you find loads of strange things. Example, zombies, giant snakes, giant spiders, a giant humanoid monster with a massive claw. This game is filled with loads and loads of enemies. So the story is really good. Basically, the aim of the game is to find your friends and make it out alive without being eaten or molested by zombies. Okay, let's move on to graphics. Well, the graphics in this game are really good. I mean, Capcom have taken advantage of the GameCube's capabilities really well. I mean, this is just a demo of the game, but I mean, as you can see, the graphics look pretty good. Let's move on to the controls of the game. The controls of the game are awesome because it adds some new stuff. The new stuff that they've added to the game is defensive items. Now, in the original PS1 version and the DS game, there was no defensive items at all. But in the GameCube version, they've added the defensive items. And the controls of this game are very simple. So, let me just tell you about them. Use the thumbstick to move around. Use the Z button to look at your map. The start button to look at your pause screen so you can change the settings of the game, like volume and turf and rumble and all that stuff, and change the sound and that. The Y button for your inventory so you can sort out all your weapons. If you want to fire a weapon, you hold down the R button and then you press the A button to fire. To run, you hold the B button and move the joystick. Now the new control is the defensive items. Defensive items are controlled by pressing the L trigger. Now there is an option to have the defensive items on auto, but having it on auto means you will use them all the time. And the defensive items are limited. You have a limited supply. Defensive items come in. You have defensive items basically like a knife or a grenade or a taser thing. And around the house you will find spare knives, spare batteries and grenades. These are your defensive items, and when you infantry screen and you see equip one of those, you will change the button configuration to L for your defensive items. With press the L button when you be attacked by a zombie or a monster, your character will take out a grenade or a knife or a taser, shove it somewhere in the zombie, either damaging them or blowing them to pieces. So that's a brand new control piece they've implemented. The defensive items have really got fit to the game. I really liked it. Another good thing they've done to this game is this. Now on the DS version, this cutscene was in black and white. But what they've done is that they've turned it into colour, and it's even more creepy than it was on the DS version. The only DS version was all in black and white. But now in the GameCube version, the first cutscene, which was in black and white before, is now in beautiful colour. It looks absolutely stunning. And it sets the scene for the entire game. The gameplay of this game is action horror. It's got a lot of action and it's loads of horror. You can play as two characters in this game, Joe Valentine or Chris Redfield. The gameplay is basically based on the DS version, but the graphics are a lot better in this version. Basically, throwing around the house, collecting keys, solving puzzles, shooting zombies, and collecting herbs, health sprays, destroying giant monsters, and trying to figure out what happened to your friends who entered the house before you. There are several things which you can do in this version. Also, you will also notice that the mansion has been practically doubled in size. In the DS version and the PS1 version, the mansion was pretty small, along with the guardhouse and the laboratory. But in this game, the mansion is a hell of a lot bigger. It's massive. It's got more floors, more rooms, and more stuff you can explore and figure out. These are what the cutscenes look like in the game, and as you can see, they look awesome. I mean, that zombie looks completely gruesome. I think it's time we popped him in the head. Come here, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, as you can notice, the zombies are pretty strong, and all the enemies in the game have their own strengths and weaknesses. Okay, let's go to the music of the game. The music in this game is really, really creepy. It fits the feel of the game really well. It makes you feel scared, and it also makes you feel alert. Most of the time the game's in complete silence, but when the music does come on, it fits the game really well. I mean, most of the music that does come on will trigger there's a zombie around and he's going to try and eat you. It adds to the feel of the game, it makes you feel kind of scared. Now, that's basically all of the game I can show you. Now, I'm very sorry, YouTube, but I've run out of time. So join me in part 2 of my Resident Evil on the GameCube review, where I will finish up reviewing this game, tell you the good stuff and the bad stuff about this game. So until then, YouTube, bye-bye.